welcome everybody. If you can, Mike, do you have a sign-in sheet for people?
Yeah, it's at the door.
You can just sign in, just that way it helps, if we need to, get back to you if you have questions. It just makes it easier if we have your contact information. That would be great. Anyways, I'll let these people do that and then we'll go in. This is just the best time of year for apples. When I retired, one of the things they teased me about is I was always have an apple and a jackknife. And of course, in school, you don't have a jackknife. Well, I always did. Okay. All right. So first order of agenda is a special permit for 7 West Main Street. Application by Stephen Force. It's looking to replace a shed on the property. And wants to reverse the direction of an existing roof to rotate 180 degree, has raised the corners by 18 inches. Okay, Steve, is there Steve? You, sir, you want to tell us what I'm doing and what the size of this is? And
so the house came with a shed. It's definitely closer to the driveway, but from the picture, but it's always been there. And I actually made a mistake. It's not 180 degrees, it's 90 degrees. The roof is not.
Okay.
I just want to spin it. The direction of the sun comes this way. The wife wants to put like some skylights in it. You can kind of like a greenhouse, like the seedlings.
Thank you, Mike.
For the shed too, even. As you can see, it's really close to the property line. It's always been there. It's in pretty good shape now. They're building new houses, around us. So we said, let's do this kind of before the neighbors get in, kind of finish it up. So it's not like in progress while they're moving in.
So is the existing shed are you redoing that shed or are you making a whole new one?
So, yeah, it was listed as like tearing it all the way down. We're just gonna take the roof off of it.
Okay.
And raise the corners basically to make it 8 foot. Because they're about 6'6" right now. So
Okay.
it seems kind of tight when you get in there.
Okay.
And then we just want to change the roof line 90 degrees, not the 180. So.
Okay. Well, that just makes a spectacular difference because what's there is pre-existing non-conforming.
Yeah.
How big is this set, just out of curiosity?
So it's about 16 by 16.
Okay. So Mike, can I ask us a dumb question? I know this is non-conforming and I know it's bigger than the 120 where you don't even need to come before us at all.
Right.
But
You still actually need to follow it, even though that threshold that I think is actually 180 or is it 120? Either way.
I think it's 120.
Is it 120? Okay. You just don't need a building permit for that because there's no building code that applies to how it would be constructed, but it still does need to follow the setbacks that are prescribed in the zoning bylaw.
But it's pre-existing non-conforming.
You're correct. Yeah.
So it's pre-existing non-conforming. They're just asking, increasing the height would increase the non-conformity, but minimally.
Yeah.
So we can do it by special permit because it's pre-existing non-conforming.
Okay.
So it's not a variance, it's just a special permit. Yeah.
Makes it even easier. We just like to get all our ducks lined up in a row.
Yeah.
Once you're pre-existing non-conforming, if you were tearing this thing down and starting over, we would probably say at minimum 5 feet from the back and a few other things.
Yeah.
But you're not tearing it down, which saves you in that thing. Rotating the roof 90 degrees. Actually, we don't give a hoot. We never actually say which way the roof rotates. That's not our business. And the 18 inches is, I don't even think we have do we have regulation on height of a roof of a shed?
Yeah, I think you do.
There's something. All right, so we do need a special permit. All right, I'm gonna release it right to you guys. Any questions you have for this gentleman?
Oh, sorry, Michael, what was that?
Yeah, that was my
So I think the height maximum is 15 feet for sheds, but let me,
Oh, so we're well under 15 feet then.
yeah, let me just
Perfect.
double check that.
What's its relation to the neighbor's property?
So the new neighbor is where the writing is on the top there.
Yeah,
And the shed is actually not in the back corner of the property, it's kind of where those numbers are.
Okay,
and then where's the house? Is it on that property line or is it on the opposite side?
On the opposite side, so you can see on house number 7 on this side, it's only 5'8", 3 feet wide. It's really close.
yeah, the old
Other
house,
neighbors, house-
I see,
yeah, the old, they built them close back then. Eric, do you have any questions, concerns?
I'm just curious, Michael, where is the height?
It's under note 3, under the dimensional table.
Okay,
So I was gonna bring it up.
But we're under it, so, so then that makes that one a moot point.
yeah, I just wanted to know where it is, but
You're thinking, I know what you got. You got your little shack out back. You're starting to say,
Yeah.
15 feet.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to clarify, the neighbor is not number 15, is it? It's number 11. Yeah, the old PD's house and the new house. Yeah, that 15.
Okay. Michael, any questions or concerns you have?
Really?
Are there any neighbors or others here that have any concerns with this? No?
Do you have the green cards for the notices that went out?
Am I supposed to bring him here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
You can bring it back to the office.
So, but our decision, we would be dependent on those being turned in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? Anyone want to make, since you're the, why don't you make the motion tonight? Here, top one. There you go.
It's that, you won't know.
Oh, he wants the decision document. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I have that too. Somewhere. Here we go. Why my printer always runs out of ink.
Going? There you go.
There was a condition.
I didn't.
Right, yeah, I got that. Okay, I move to approve the special permit for a new shed as shown on the plan provided and move to make positive findings in favor of section 300-3.3E2 on the condition that the green cards are turned in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You want to second it?
I'll second or something.
Okay. Been moved and second.
Gabriel, Young, aye.
All right.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Eric Russell, I.
There we go. Easy, thank you. The condition is though, on this, can you make that motion again with the condition that the green cards come in?
Oh, he did.
Oh, I did, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now, just so you know, there's an appeal period of 20 days so that someone can appeal it within that time period, but it's not from today, it's from when the clerk receives it downstairs. So it has to get typed up. I have to sign it, or any of these guys can sign it, doesn't matter who. And once that is done, the secretary will let you know that that's when the 20 days starts. The other thing is this should be filed up at Worcester too, shouldn't it? Special permits?
Yeah.
So when that decision is done after the 20-day period, you're gonna have to take a little ride up to the Registry of Deeds in Worcester and give them a copy of it. They charge you money for that, which
Yeah, they do.
They do. They charge you. I was like shocked. Bring a checkbook. It's not a
Yeah.
crazy amount, but it's like, I don't know, it's like 50 or 60 bucks, something like that. And it gets registered on your deed forever. Which is very valuable should this thing blow down in the hurricane and you can say, it was there. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming. I hope that was as painless as we could make it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this-
Second one. Now, this is a variance for 56 Shore Drive. Application by Queenie Lee and I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Leifengling. Oh, sorry if I butcher that. Requesting a variance pursuant to section 300-4.2, seeking relief from the required minimal front and side yard setbacks for a proposed deck. And as we all have discovered long ago, Crockett Road and Shore Road, which are all zoned AG are even actually smaller than the S. There's less room than even the SRAs. So anyways, would you like to explain what you're doing to us? Doing one, or sorry. Would you like to explain what you're doing, ma'am?
Our shape is the very irregular. It
Yep.
cannot build the deck within the setback. It's already, our house is already within the setback. So we want to build the deck so the family can enjoyable and also for the safety problem. Because our backyard, I created is ugly. It's like the uneven
Yeah,
patch of the ground. We want to be safe and I generate the AI idea like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's more safe and beautiful and good for the overall appearance of the neighborhood.
Topography is something that we're allowed to take into account, and also where the septic is. Because you have to avoid where you can't put something on top of your septic system, so that is okay. Do you know approximately what your distances are going to be from the side lots?
Like
50 feet from the pond.
50.
Yeah. Did conservation weigh in on this, Mike?
They did, I asked Mary Overholt, she said that this would not require an NOI,
Really? Okay.
but would likely require an RDA. So,
Okay.
which is, sort of backwards reason, but anyway, I think she feels, to say that in a different way, it would require an RDA, but she doesn't feel it would reach a positive determination in order to escalate it to an NOI filing.
Okay.
So, which all is to say is it likely won't require a rigorous application through the Conservation Commission.
Okay, and it is pretty obvious that if you're gonna put a deck on a shoreline house, that you'd probably want the deck to be on the side where the water is, not the driveway side.
Now, Michael,
Yeah,
so the deck is considered a different structure from the house?
I was thinking that right as we were talking about it, highlighting this, that I think this actually might have been more appropriately done as a special permit for
That's what I'm
alteration.
wondering, since the house,
And that would eliminate the need, as I was pointing out in my memo,
Yeah.
to have a more definite survey.
yeah,
Okay.
So I was concerned initially with this being a mortgage survey, asking for a variance, not having those
oh, yeah.
specific distances.
Right.
Are those green lines, just offsets?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yeah. Just done freehand, obviously, based on the survey provided.
I have a question.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So you know,
I have this, I guess you have nobody here for number 52. Have you discussed this with 52 because your deck will be closer to them when your house is now?
no, their 52 line here is more even close to the pond.
Well, yeah, it's closer to the
I'm
pond.
sure any view, any airflow, it doesn't disrupt them.
There will be no concern from them for possible noise.
There's
from
no
the
concern.
deck, are you sure? I've spoken to them. No.
But you did,
Well,
you provided notice to them though, right?
Did-
Yeah.
you sent the little cards. Did she give you her green cards, Mike? Okay, good.
Here, if there was a concern.
Well, that's what I'm gonna ask. Is there any abutters at all here for, okay, excellent. That's good news, because it means that your neighbors, if they don't like something, they'll show up.
Yes.
So
But you haven't informed them before. It just be.
well, the standard we go by is the formal notification on those cards.
It's this central budgets, yeah,
Yeah.
so they haven't responded, okay.
And do we know where the leach field is?
That would be a conservation issue for us. But no way in the world would they ever put it on the pond side.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always on the other side of the house. This is, everything down at Crockett Road, everything down at Shore Ride, none of them have ever You put a staircase into any of these buildings. In fact, you could put a staircase on that and you'd have to be here before us for it. It's just a super common problem. I have asked the planning board to rezone those areas. We have not yet done that. It's just a continual problem with when you try to fit houses that are that close together and you just call them AG, because AG, you're supposed to have 500 foot of frontage. And down there, you probably could have 10 houses. I don't want to say 10, but you probably have about 6 houses in 500 feet down on Shore Road.
So through the chair, I guess a point of order with regard to the application and the issue that Eric was bringing up, which is it's up to you what you want to do at this point. It probably is more appropriate to come before this board as a special permit for the expansion alteration pre-existing non-conforming. I mean, the request is before you now. Doesn't seem like there's anybody here opposing it.
Yeah.
You could decide that there's a hardship on this property and issue an approval of the requested variance. Were there in a butter to be upset with that, they could probably easily overturn that. And but if that were to happen, she could always come back in the form of a special permit, like we were talking about before, and ask for
I
that.
just don't want to waste her time or waste her money,
So whatever.
especially where there's no neighbors here to be.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer special permits over variances just because variances are easy to overturn. But if there's no one here opposing it, personally, I would give the applicant the choice as to whether,
Well, plus, we
Yeah.
don't know what relief they're asking for. They get a dimension 30 by 14, you don't know how much relief they need from the setbacks.
it's true.
A special permit would require continuing it.
We need to understand what the
But
setback.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a very valid point.
The building commissioner he's gonna say, well,
Yeah,
how far,
Yeah,
how
we-
close can you go? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we need to know whether they want
You
5
could-
feet, 2 feet, 10 feet.
yeah,
If
it's
the
true.
board was heading in that direction, you could continue this. We would have time to advertise for the special permit for the December meeting.
Would the notification for the variance be sufficient for or would she have to re-notify?
I think you'd have to notify, I think you do an application altogether technically.
All right.
Yeah.
So what these guys are very, very sharp and they really know the law very well. What basically is, if we go with the variance, someone could fight it very easily. Okay, it's not likely. But we normally have more information. Bob is completely correct. We normally like to know how far from the side you're gonna be and things like that. If we go for the special permit, that is much harder for someone to take away from you. Okay, I don't want to say it gives you more protection, but it kind of does.
It does.
It does.
It's hard to
It
overturn.
gives you more protection. It would cost you another month and re-notifying everybody. And I'd be apologetic about having to do that. But in all honesty, it gives you more protection if we go that route. So my recommendation, and it sounds like you guys too, is instead of getting a variance, which is easy for someone to appeal, that you come back to us next month for a special permit. And when you do, come to us with a drawing that has dimensions on it, like how far from the side lots are you? How big is the deck? We don't know how big the deck is. We don't know how much you want to,
30
It-
times 14.
Yeah, it does say 30 by 14,
Right,
but we
yeah.
don't know the,
size.
yeah, the side setbacks
the
that
side
it would
setbacks.
be brought down to, yeah.
The rear,
The issue of variance, they need, so if you see where the mouse is, they need the exact distance from this corner
To the lot.
to this line, not necessarily the dimensions you provided for the entire deck.
looks the front of the house. The front of the house.
Did you want to build it this year?
As soon as possible.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, weather's gonna turn, you're gonna be into December. I think the safer course of action
Yeah, I was saying, Michael, just, not just that one dimension, but also from the other corner to the other side
Yeah.
lot and, from the back to the- yeah.
You know, why don't we do this if we, we have, if you could print this out and show her the dimensions we would like.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. It would be safer for you and smarter for you and less likely to be appealed. And if it was appealed, you'd be more likely to win if we gave you a special permit and not a variance.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So if it's okay with the board, I'm gonna ask that you withdraw.
So you-
Why don't we just continue?
Just continuous?
Just continue.
Okay.
Continue it.
Is it okay if on your behalf, we continue it to next month? And we can re-notify your neighbors on this, change it from a variance to a special permit, and then provide the few dimensions we want, and then it should be much smoother next time. Does that,
It's basically, we're gonna check a different box in the application form. I think it makes sense a lot easier for you.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever easy for you. Yeah, I don't mind.
yeah, okay, well, anyways, we're sorry for the snafu.
It's
Can I-
better than this one.
Okay, so can I get a motion to continue from
Motion to continue
next month?
till
The 7th.
December.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, Michael,
Michael Galbody.
Eric Russell, I.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Bob Upton,
You're really young, I.
There we go. All right, we'll see you next month. Okay,
I'm waiting for you. Finish.
After tonight, I don't, if you want to, it might be applied, but, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Will you call me?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We just want to make sure we do it so that you have the best protection.
Distance, right?
Yeah, especially from the side of the lots to the corners of the deck. It shouldn't be a problem. On this road, this is a constant problem. Anytime you add anything to any of these camps, which are now houses, we're in the same boat every single time.
Mike, do you have a sample plot plan that you have to hand out for people?
A sample plot plan,
Yeah,
like every property?
just something to show people what is needed.
Oh, like for the application process? No, but we could, I could develop something.
It's written text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we'll see you next month and he'll get a hold of you probably tomorrow.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just important that we look after her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
better now.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
we have a special permit to continue from the continued meeting in October for 73 Crockett Road. Application by Kathy Gessel and John Dennis requesting a special permit for the existing accessory apartment. And should we all do this as one big thing or two? Let's do it as two separate things.
Yeah, it's two requests.
There were
Yeah.
two requests. We'll do this as
Yeah.
two separate requests. All right, Michael, where are we on this one?
So as you remember, last time we left this off, it was, there was a question about, bylaw.
Yes.
and
Yes.
The
The grandfather.
grandfather clause, and how that applied. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately only because I'm not sure this is how it was intended to be written and interpreted.
Yeah.
The grandfathering clause is limited to accessory dwelling units as they are defined in the bylaw and the state law. And so anything over 900 square feet
that was previously approved as an in-law apartment, or for your purposes, an accessory apartment
Yeah.
for your old bylaw. Anything in excess of that 900 square feet is not automatically captured by that grandfathering clause, so it's not grandfathered.
That was town council's,
So, yeah, so I saw that,
So by state law, you can't change.
Yeah, we can't change the state.
But the state law have the same restriction that the bylaw
Well-
accidentally has.
well, we can change, if someone comes before us and wants more, we have that ability.
yeah.
Yes, we do have, no, it does not prevent us from doing it. And as a side note, I did kind of
So,
capture the planning
Yeah.
board chairman and said, is this what you really meant? Because this is what the lawyer is saying is how it ended up being written. And she's like, no, we meant to just grandfather everything in. And I have asked the planning
So-
board to revisit it
Yeah,
and
so they-
write it more appropriately.
they do need to revisit it. The way it's written is confusing. I don't necessarily agree with town council's opinion, because if you read it the way they're suggesting, then the grandfathering provision means nothing, because what it says is a protected use ADU under the statute existing on the date that the bylaw was adopted isn't affected by the bylaw. That's true no matter what, which renders that completely moot. And that's not how you read laws. You don't read language out of them. You always assign meaning to it. So I don't agree with that. But I also pulled the Attorney General's opinion on this, and they said, we strongly encourage the town to consult with town council regarding an amendment to this section that makes it explicitly clear that any prohibited or unreasonable regulations that were imposed on a previously approved accessory apartment or ADU are unenforceable. Prohibited regulations include familial relationships.
Okay.
So I think this needs to go back to planning board and be updated, and the Attorney General's office does too.
Yeah.
So,
So we
yeah.
can't, this can't be fixed until May.
yeah.
The bylaw can't be fixed until May.
Yeah, right, the bylaw, but
Yeah.
we have no choice. We've got to make a decision.
Yeah.
And
And as a result of that information, the applicant has requested, Kathy's on, to correct me if I'm wrong, but she emailed me, expressing, the intent to amend this request to be the 50% allowable by your bylaw. So,
So it makes our discussion a little bit moot, because she's asking for, relief within the bylaw as written.
Well,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
can I
No,
say, can I say something? The initial request, I'm a little confused about the status now of the ADU bylaw. I'm very confused about it. But the initial request was to be able to rent it out as is, which is 1,316 square feet. And I thought, reading Article 27, the proposed amendment, that it said it had to be no more than 50%. So I then asked Mike, should I amend the request? And now I don't know if I should amend the request or not. Maybe you could advise me on that.
Pursuant to this application, I would think you would want to amend that request down to the maximum 50%, because through the bylaw, this was the other issue that we're running into.
Yeah.
That bylaw restricts you, the board, so that you cannot grant anything in excess of 50%. So the original request was something like 63%,
Right.
which Kathy just mentioned, the whole square footage. That amounted to something like 63%. That bylaw is restrictive to cap out at 50%.
but if we go with
Yeah.
50, this becomes by right, doesn't it?
No,
No.
50 is over the protected use limit for the state, but it's within our
Well,
bylaw.
it's in with our bylaw, okay. That seems like for me, reasonable compromise, and it gets us past this point. Yes, sir.
Does the disputed square footage in the neighbour's attorney's letter change that map? He says, I'm 21 feet, but not being accounted for?
It certainly, I don't know if it changes it. I mean,
Well, this,
she can ask for the 50%. It's really going to be up to the building commissioner
that's what that is.
where that square footage begins and ends.
Plus, there's also a little shenanigans going on that I'll call out. And the shenanigans is that they're questioning stuff going back 35 years.
Yeah.
And that lawyer, I don't know whether he's trying to pull the wool over our eyes or he's trying to pull the eyes over his own client. You can't do that. Okay, there's a 10-year like limit on that.
Yeah.
And it kind of annoys me when, I don't know if he's trying to deceive you or he's deceiving him, the client,
Deceive me, if that's true, yeah.
because there is a 10-year limit. And he didn't mention that. And I wonder why. Why would he not mention that? And that just, I don't like, to me, he's being dishonest to somebody.
And point of order, we do not have his updated letter. It wasn't
You
on
do,
the-
I emailed it to you. I didn't realize it didn't make it.
It doesn't change
Really
it.
pisses me off.
It doesn't change that discussion we just
No,
had.
don't change any conclusions made. It's still valid.
Yeah.
I just like to point out, we don't actually have his full letter.
I have it right here, the letter. And that's, I believe that is the revised letter. But I also did email it out to the board.
Yeah, it's up, it's in on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't check for it.
Well, if this is complete within our rights to grant the 50%,
It is, yeah. I don't think the abutters attorney was denying your ability to contemplate issuing a special permit up to 50%, right? I think, and I don't want to speak on his behalf or his client's behalf, but that's up to them if they want to not agree with the board issuing it, right? So they can oppose the issuance of a special permit, but I don't think they're contending your ability to issue a special permit for up to that 50%.
the nice thing about special permits versus variances is they're a lot harder to. This is one of the reasons why we think about what we just did with the previous case.
But and the issue, Mr. Chairman, that you were speaking to is an issue more related to the next,
The next item.
which is, yeah, for the small addition.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I would actually suggest to this board, and I spoke to Tess about this, is you table voting on the ADU until after you voted on the addition, if you intend to vote on the special permit addition. And the reason why is that will impact her square footage.
Yeah.
For the ADU.
You know, brilliant.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion to table?
No, you just table it.
Okay, all right, we'll table it off. What was it? I should not say that. Do you agree with tabling it?
Tabling it
I
means
also
you're gonna,
wasn't here for the first part, so.
Oh, last month.
Last month. Okay,
Yeah.
but you were here, Dave.
No,
Okay, so, all right, so,
Okay.
so we're gonna be a 4-member board for that.
Yeah.
You were here, so why don't we just table that
We'll table
till
it.
after, since that,
Yeah.
yeah, table means you're gonna deal with it this meeting. It's not getting
Yeah.
postponed. Right?
by the way, the book you recommended just came in on the town meeting stuff.
Oh, town
All
meeting
those, all
time?
the, no, all the, yeah, all those,
Yeah.
finally, after how many months?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's table that and go to part 2, which is a special permit for 73 Crockett Road, by the same people. Sorry, actually, application by Kathy Kessel and John Dennis, applicant for owner Jill and William Lawson, requesting a special permit, seeking a zoning setback variance to allow for expansion of existing footprint of whole by an area of 18 times 8. This rear setback will remain the same as it is, as the side setbacks will also be approximately the same as the current, which is less than 30 feet.
Just to be clear, Michael, because it says special permit at the beginning, but then in the language, it says seeking a zoning setback variance. It is a special permit, right?
This was, yeah, and it was, when Kathy originally submitted it, it was for a variance, and then I identified that this was really more for a special permit pursuant to.
Yeah, the same.
Had tonight already.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So there was, I think, yeah, it looks like that. It still says
Okay.
variance in the subject matter of the petition, but you see, she did change it to special permit. And it was advertised as a special permit.
Okay.
noticed as a special
Yeah.
permit and in your agenda as a special permit.
So
Okay.
Kathy, can you just tell us what this is all about?
Yeah, sure. Mike, could you stop there on that slide there? That's the property card, and the gray area is 18 feet by 8 feet, which is the area that we would like to expand the foundation in. And if you go to the next slide, it's a site plan. No, not that one, but go to number 2, document number 2. Not that one. Nope. Nope. Not that. Nope. 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 It was document number 2 that I sent you.
In
It's-
the email, hold on, I'll have to go to a different thing.
Is it the property card?
No, that was just the
Oh,
property
so-
card.
This is,
It's a site
Proposed
survey,
foundation.
a survey that we hired Gear and Halnon to do, to
Bear
show.
with me. Just bear with me, it's struggling to load here. So. So-
It's called 2 Survey with Highlighted Foundation Corner. Number 2.
it's this one.
Proposed foundation expansion. Why am I- I'm on the wrong one.
It was one of the early ones I sent you.
Is it? on-
Keep going. Keep going. No, go back up. There's a whole nother folder. You gotta go with it. This one, go into that folder
Okay, there we go.
All right, I can,
and scroll down.
Floor plan.
Not that one, no. Keep going, keep going.
do this a different way, hold on.
Existing floor plan revised.
You want the new
No,
one.
no, it's called Survey with Highlighted Foundation Corner.
Just give me a minute, I'll track it down.
It's a lot of information.
While you're looking it up, I'll just explain here that we hired the survey company, Gear and Halnon of Milford, to go on site and actually do a site survey because there wasn't one that had existed.
Scroll
So they measured the actual setback of the existing
Oh,
house to the water.
Go into, go up there, there you go, go into that one.
That's just where it was, I thought.
Then down, expansion.
Foundation
Yeah,
plan, there we
that's
go.
the one.
Okay. You want me to help you too? Same thing I'm
Right
doing.
here, we're in 73 Crockett Road folder.
Yeah,
Okay,
said
Michael, the 73 Crockett Road. folder
expansion
is
of,
where you wanna go
foundation,
and
new
look
plan.
at-
yep, that's the one.
okay.
look
It's
for-
called Survey with Highlighted Foundation Corner.
Okay.
Can I see what you have? I can't see that.
It's why is this so difficult? It's not working on my computer.
Look for the one that says expansion of foundation new.
Expansion.
I see it.
Oh, it's that one, all right.
It looks like this.
No,
There we
that's-
That's the
that's not
one.
it, is it? No, she's looking for the Gary and Howland one.
See that? Can you see what I'm holding up?
No, hold on, sorry.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trying to make the picture.
Oh, that's all right.
Sorry.
That's right.
That's all right.
Just hold it there.
You're doing great.
Oh, that works. Sorry.
Yeah, that one, we don't see that one.
Okay.
The weather.
That's what we were on. She showed us
May I just
something.
ask while you're doing this for clarity, the documents were dropped in the last few hours. Was some of them rebuttal to that lawyer's letter and because they weren't explained, or were they additional information for us like this?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? You're breaking
Well, I
up.
didn't really get time to examine them. There are a lot of documents appeared in the folder in the last few hours. It seemed like some of them were rebuttal to that lawyer's letter that we
It's
hadn't
in
really
the
gone
info
through
from
yet.
Kathy Kessler.
But others were what
Oh,
we just
okay.
showed us. Is that true, or? There's a lot of
Well-
additional information I didn't get time to look at.
Mike might not have forwarded that particular thing to us.
It's actually, yes and no.
That's okay.
Mostly it's supporting, giving you facts about the setback on what that additional 8 by 18
Just had that, I was just running.
would be, what the setback of it would
Oh.
be.
Mike, in the folder that's info from Kay Kessel,
Yeah.
there's a document that says 6 distance from water, both homes.
Here we go. Here we
No,
go.
that's not the one.
Oh, that's-
What she's pointing out is the setback
It's
is.
number-
It looks like.
That was some, it was based off the same thing, it looks like.
Spoke to the lawyers, had it.
Well, it is, but it's number 2.
Just.
Sorry.
as a side
My
note.
apologies, Kathy. It looks like things got screwed up when I tried to upload it to the website.
It's the law from 75. Yeah. What's what to do with it?
Well, yeah, you know what,
She's are we to take them to account?
number 6 would work also because it shows the same information.
It is that, I trust that lawyer as far as I can throw you.
Yeah.
Secondly is,
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking why Kathy Bottom's to show this. If they're linked.
you know, this is someone else's property. We don't need to.
Yeah.
Yes,
the
the
property
property is saying is why is she pointing that out?
Client. She's pointing out that they were lying or something.
6, here we go, okay.
The thing to note is that these other properties also.
All right, I got something, Kathy, hold on.
People who said that those laws are holy and should not. be
There you go, sorry about that.
Before us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Before us.
That's it.
Changed.
Oh, well, that's one of them. That wasn't the one I intended on, but that has the same information. The area with the red X's is the area that we're looking to expand the existing foundation of 8 feet by 18 feet, 144 square feet, which represents about 7% of the existing foundation. If that were to be added, it lines up with the existing rear, the lake side of the house. The resulting, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're
We're listening, we're listening.
I was folding up the plan for them that you submitted as well, so that they have it in the room.
Okay. All right. So if it were to be expanded, the resulting edge of that expansion would be actually just slightly further away from the water than the existing foundation is already, which is about 45 feet, which I understand is in the non-conforming zone part of it. That's in the buffer zone. So it would be expanding that corner of the house a little further toward the water, but the result of it would be lined up with the existing house. So at that, I'll let you ask a question and then I can go on from here if you want.
Yeah, I don't really have a question. I just know that a tremendous number of people on Crockett Road have come before us on very similar matters, including several of the neighbors, for very similar things in the past. I don't know of any building down there that's been renovated that hasn't had to come before us. And I mean, like, I don't know of one. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. There's one way down there that has a good chunk. Everything down there, just like Shore Road, is a problem with the side setbacks. People put porches on and they want to winterize them. And then they find out that that's a really crappy building, and then they want to take that down, put a nicer corner in. That's a very common thing down there too. I would seek your opinions, and I want to open it up to the neighbors, and then cycle back to Mike. So Michael, I've been looking to these guys to go first. Mike, do you have any questions, concerns? I want to go. Not at the moment. Eric.
So right now the application's just to expand the foundation. Is there any other plan for construction on top of that? What's the?
Yeah.
Actually, Dave Wilkinson is our builder and he's at the meeting there. We are going to be reconfiguring. The plan you have up here is not that house. That's the in-law house. But there is a plan that I sent you that is what we're thinking of doing to reconfigure the inside of the house. And that is number,
Not that.
yeah, that one.
Is there?
Yeah, that's it. That's the plan. to reconfigure the walls on the inside of the house. And to do so, where you see the primary bedroom in the upper left-hand corner is why we wanted to increase that area, that corner of the house, to allow for the reconfiguration of the home.
But if-
Part of the objective was really to increase the main living area and the dining area to entertain our family. We have a family of, 20 people, and I can never host Christmas or Thanksgiving anymore because we didn't have a place big enough. So that's part of the objective here. But anyway,
So
that,
if the board grants relief for the foundation today, wouldn't she have to come back for additional relief to do that construction because it'd be expanding a nonconformity again?
we are planning on
So-
doing that.
So the plan would be to come back again?
Like, why not just do it once? Yeah.
What's the point of doing it in pieces?
Well, is there a porch currently above that piece where you're
There-
putting the foundation in?
Actually, no, where the additional foundation, no, there's a porch that's outside of the living area there, and it expands into where you see the bathroom, but it doesn't extend all the way over to the master bedroom. Dave's in the audience. Dave, do you want to talk about the plan for filing a permit for this reconfiguration of the home? I can't hear Dave.
Do you want to come up? Yeah, so she's.
There's a directional, this is like, I think, an omnidirectional.
This is the microphone.
Oh, that's the mic up there, so
I think that helps too, but.
It's a frost wall under that corner. It's not even a full foundation. So it'd just be an excavation because it's a full slab right now, so it's not a wood floor frame, it's a concrete slab. So we would dig, pour a slab there, and then just make that 8x14, I think was
Can you touch the screen to show where this foundation will be?
right here.
So you're just making the bedroom bigger. So
Well,
you're
that's
making the
not,
bedroom.
well, actually, it's better now, and it would be better.
Yeah.
Better location has changed.
there's currently a
But the-
slab under there.
But the special,
There's no slab.
expanding the foundation is nothing.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to come back.
Which.
Yeah.
Slide.
Building across on that foundation. Yeah. Yeah.
It would be better to do it as one.
What is existing in that corner right now?
They
Nothing.
not
Nothing, okay.
Did not do the application properly, meaning that they want to do this.
No, that's the,
That's right here, drawn, that is it, right there. This,
Yeah.
this area here on the right, just, I don't want to get away from this, but this area here on the right is, it's wood frame over open air.
Okay.
So we're, part of a building permit application, we would also put frost wall right there, just so she has they have a continuous concrete slab there, we don't have some concrete, some wood, but that is already there, so she wasn't looking for any, permission to do that, for either.
To clarify for the board, Eric and Bill, you were asking about why ask for the expansion of the foundation, but not the house. In the application, they did ask for the expansion of the house.
Oh, okay.
Through the discussion here, they said foundation.
Yeah.
But in the application materials, they clearly showed the intent to expand the actual home
Okay, good.
living space.
So I just don't want to have to do this twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if.
And in the application itself, it says expansion of the home. It doesn't say
Just the
expansion of
foundation.
foundation only.
Okay.
But it'll be a smooth continuation of the existing side and back walls. If you reconcile
Yes.
this.
Could be rectangle.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I want to go down and make sure that everyone here, Bob, do you have any questions, concerns? Because I'm
Well, it's-
wanting to make sure that everyone gets a chance to speak.
It's not clear to me what the setback requirement needs to be by expanding that foundation. It mentions it's gonna be approximately. Well, we can't,
right here, right there, that number there.
is it gonna be 16 feet?
Yeah, that's what it
So they're
Yes,
asking
that's
for
what's better,
relief
too.
of 14 feet? Is it, what's the setback, whatever it is? Oh,
It's AG.
This is the actual survey
okay.
provided as well. So yeah, it's the 16 feet. Where am I?
Okay, so-
Right, yeah, right there, 16.
Okay.
45. So, I mean, 'cause there's actually like a sliver of an expansion I think she'd be able to do by right within that box because you have a 50-foot rear yard and a 30-foot
side. Yeah.
10-foot side.
Yeah, which
Okay.
nothing down there meets,
Okay.
nothing ever. Thank you for, I want to make sure that
I
everyone.
wasn't here last week.
Thanks,
Okay,
everyone.
okay.
So-
Okay, but actually, this is a brand
Actually,
new
this
matter.
one's new, yeah.
This is a new matter. They're actually two separate matters,
All
really.
right.
So you are voting on this one.
Is this part of like some point of contention? That's.
We don't know yet. We
don't
haven't
know?
put it out to the neighbors and see
I
if
just
they're.
wanted to make a-
As long as you're okay, because I want to make sure everyone here gets their chance. And then I know we have an abutter here tonight. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this.
So I know Danny Quick is the attorney and he couldn't be here tonight. He asked for a continuance. I'll just make one comment. I know there's this 10-year statute of limitations. I'll make one comment. While you were having a hard time figuring out where the foundation is here, is because if the town really went back in history here and looked at the situation, they're gonna find the structure burned down sometime in the 70s. And this owner built all this stuff without permits, the whole thing. And he added on to. But this is why you can't find the foundations and the pieces here. But I'll let that go. That's 10-year special limitations. My lawyer made one comment. You can't make something that's non-conforming more non-conforming. And you're making this more non-conforming. That's one. Two, you're going closer to my property line as well. So this property here has twice the square footage is my property. There's plenty of room here to go back towards the road, go the other way. There's plenty of room on this property. You don't have to go towards the water there, right, with that side of the structure. And one more comment. When my house was permitted 1959, and when I went to do an expansion, it was closer to the water. That's how I bought it. I don't know why it was like that. I suspect the front yard was low and there was water. They built that thing close to the water. When I tore this thing down and built my structure, the town was adamant with me. I wanted a wider deck, and the town says you cannot go closer to the water. I had to pull my house back 3 feet to make a wider deck. It seems like a small little nuance to me, but the town made me pull my perimeter back 3 feet so I could have a wider deck. And I think if the town's gonna apply a rule like that, then you need to apply this rule here.
If I-
It seems like a nuance, but if you say you can't go close to the water, you can't go close to the water.
The water stuff is just a quagmire with conservation. What was the variance that you sought when you came before the board?
What was the variance?
You sought when you came before the board?
So, so there was a small cottage there and it had a deck.
Mhm.
So I was gonna keep the same footprint, not go close to the water of the footprint, but I wanted a larger deck. I wanted a wider deck. I think it was like an 8-foot deck. And the town says you can't do that. Maybe it was the conservation commission. But they said you can't go closer.
Right, but you were allowed to go with the same starting point and go back.
I had to go back.
Right. So you were allowed to do it. It's just water is a whole
Another thing.
nother thing. And
So the problem you can go back. Look at all the property space here. You can go back. And I'm not so worried about going closer, but I know the town, right? I had to go up with my structure because there's only 80 feet of frontage there. So I only had one option here is to go up.
Right.
So if you allow this, now put 30 feet on top of this. Maybe not this owner, but the next owner can go 30 feet.
that's not what's before us tonight.
I know, and if you allow that,
No.
a follow-on owner can now take that footprint.
We're not gonna argue hypotheticals. Okay, I mean, I'm going to always ask for your opinion and I'll respect it, but please, it's gotta be on what's before us tonight.
Says you can't make something more non-conforming than it already is. And two, you can't go closer to my property. So I object just on those two.
Well, one thing that would solve that is the distance to the water is getting actually further away as you go along the building. It does appear that the distance does get a little closer to the side setbacks. We are allowed to give dimensional relief, and it's extremely common on Crockett Road and on Shore Road. Those are the two things we had tonight. But we could ask that the sidewall parallel the property line, so it does not become more encroaching. That's an option too. And that's not a hard option to do. I don't know if you have an opinion on that or Kathy has an opinion on that.
Take a slight turn, right? It would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would take-
Up slightly.
Yeah.
That would.
A little weird.
Good luck to your.
It would, I'm scared, it would look a little bit different at Concur.
You need to show a hardship too. What's the hardship?
That's for a variance.
For variance.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a different matter. That whole area though, topographically, the height difference from the front lots and the lot, as you know, all of those lots are very, very steep. Anything dropping down to the water, that hill is crazy. All right,
Excuse me, we don't actually have the current property line, so we don't know what the difference is between 16 feet and.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It looks,
The changes. It looks
Yes, we
separate.
do. We have that. We have that.
it's probably on this map here. And it has a scale on it.
so
Um,
let us Kathy answer, is what we're comparing.
Right.
It's not a lot.
It would be, actually, you know what? Show you a trick. Give me the scale.
It's expressed on the property card as 8 feet, if that's what you're talking about.
It's more than that.
Okay, so what dimension are you talking about?
The existing setback to the neighbors.
So this
This
is
is the corner of the house that
Oh,
exists
oh,
now.
I see. It's a little more than 16 feet, maybe 8.
setback, you've got 16 feet from the house. It seems to be the existing setback, it's
To me,
a little more than that, but it might still be 16 feet plus.
I concur with you.
That's-
So it's looking, Bob and I just did a little math using the scale. It's looking like a foot, which really is not,
It's like less.
foot and a half.
It's getting a foot closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which is for that area is not a particularly. We've had whole steps, like, 4-foot wide steps down there. I wish they would rezone this area. It's such a challenge.
So there's no, it's your look at here. There's no building here. This is flat. You can expand back towards the road. There's nothing preventing you going away from the water. It's in wide lots.
But the only change, you're not making it more non-conforming towards the water. The only place where you're making it more non-conforming is towards your property line by about a foot. What it looks like, we just did a little thumbnail, quick scale thing. Foot's 20 inches, 20 feet. Well, it might do here.
It's so close.
Yeah, it's so close.
Uh,
It's inc-
It might be a matter of inches.
yeah, it loses meaning at a certain point.
Is my scale, when I look at this, it actually, it's telling me that the 16 feet is like, looking at my scale, so the 16 feet looks more like
17,
15 and a half.
okay.
And if I go up, that one is actually more, yeah, like closer to like exactly 16.
Kathy,
So it's probably a foot, possibly even less than a foot.
less than a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
What do we say? Hassle. What do you think about that? Where would you go?
So if we were to require that to parallel the lot line,
Mhm,
then it wouldn't be increasing any nonconformity,
that's
correct?
correct, yeah.
And so is there any relief they would need from us still, or is this?
no, I think because it is projecting, it's occupying more space in the setback, right? So just because you have an
Yeah,
existing
yeah.
house, yeah,
I think it's a valid point, though.
That's right.
right, it's not, the question for other people,
So
is
it's
just
it
because
is already
it's
in.
at
Yeah.
6, or we'll say it's 16 feet, even though that's really
Yeah.
16 feet, right? just because this is at 16 feet doesn't mean your new side yard setback throughout the entire
Yeah.
yard is now 16 feet.
Yeah.
No,
What
it's
is
only
the-
16 feet there, and then everywhere else it's 30.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so it is still building within the setback, yeah, it's just,
Yeah. I think we have, if it's gonna be done, it has to be done with this, with, you know, the special permit.
yeah,
That's, that's my thoughts.
yeah.
The question is, Kathy, what do you, so we're discussing, Kathy, basically, if we allow this, we're discussing whether we have you parallel the property line so that you don't encroach your neighbor anymore, which might cost you a foot at the corner. It may be just a matter of a few inches. Is that something that you'd want to really push back on? Or is that
Well,
something that you could
can
live
I
with?
Can I ask a question? It would
You
be,
absolutely, this is your opportunity to do so.
would Mr. Atkinson object to us having it a little closer to his property at that corner? I didn't know that that would be an objection, but maybe that is an objection of his. I'd like to understand if it is before answering that question.
Okay, Mr. Atkinson?
You consult my attorney on this.
Okay, all right.
I won't say to you, I've never opposed the board on anything. I don't like the idea of cutting this corner. I think it's gonna change the whole look of the house, and we have to
Okay.
think about, you know, what
Yes.
property looks like. And I mean, I know that it was probably done illegally in the first place. But maybe,
Just so you know, there is, and Mike, I always stop in and check with Mike. He gives me my homework. He did show me that there were cards where there were a number of additions and permits pulled and inspections done in the past. And there was what, three or something that you showed me?
Yeah, there was at least two.
There was a number in the past that permits were applied for, and inspections were done, and they are logged in the record.
Yeah, there was.
then even better, then it wasn't,
Yeah,
then there's no problem there.
No, I don't think with this filter, there. Either you're talking about the garage filter across the street. This thing was built in the 70s.
yeah, okay.
There's no records, anything. You're a builder, you can look at this thing. It was added on to several times. This is why you don't see foundations on pieces of it. Right?
Yeah,
So this was built, added on to probably 2 or 3 times, no permits were pulled.
Every building down, I shouldn't say that, but many buildings, especially, they'd add a porch here and then close it in. If you look around town, basically every house gets added on over time. I agree with you that whenever you see something where there's no foundation going down to the ground and other parts of it have the foundation, absolutely, that's a sign that happened. But we have to, I'm annoyed that it wasn't brought up the 10-year, and anything that's from 10 years ago. We've had arguments in here with people fighting about stuff that happened 20 and 30 years ago. And it's like, you know, Mass General Law doesn't support arguing about that.
I agree with you on that. You know, it's a residence, right? It's a town go back to my 1959 permit, right? For
Mhm.
me, I go back to my 1959 permit when I did this, and I look at a neighbor and I'm going, I never pulled any permits. This was built in the 70s. I'm going, it's like the rules apply to some and they don't apply to others.
The craziest one I've ever seen is when someone built a house on someone else's property and just squatted. True story, 100%.
You do it long enough, you own their property.
And if you do it
too.
for 10 years, I think
It's longer.
This would be one-
Over to.
All right, so let's guys,
Bill, can I come back to the question that's apparently still on the table? Can I ask the builder, I think we're asking hypothetically if the slab could be withdrawn a little bit so that it's same distance, but wouldn't that put a jag in the wall of that big
Yeah,
bedroom?
it would.
I've seen, it's okay, but
It would be an awkward space,
yeah,
for sure. The awkward inside and the awkward
Yeah.
outside.
I'd put that as an option.
I agree with that.
Okay, all right, so just polling the board members, this is not a formal vote. Because we're going to be asking for a motion soon here, because at some point we got to make a decision. You've expressed yourself. You good? Okay, so this is just an informal. Where are you
Can
sitting
I,
on the foot?
Hi,
Hi, Kathy. I'm just.
No,
this is
polling-
actually not Kathy. This is
It's Anne
Anne
Marie.
Oh,
Marie.
sorry, I was unaware that
okay.
there was others on this. Can you
That's
just,
okay.
sorry, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. I'm Anne Marie Atkinson. I'm Ron Atkinson's wife.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I just have a couple comments and questions. So you had mentioned that you wanted to expand the house for family. So how is the house getting expanded besides this little corner right here? Is
It's
it
not,
going up?
no,
Is it,
no, that you misunderstood. We were looking to reconfigure the rooms inside so that the family room is bigger. And in doing that, it kind of makes the master bedroom smaller. So therefore, we wanted that extra corner in the house to compensate for that space so that the master bedroom wouldn't be too small.
But you're not going up.
We're not going up, no.
You're not going up.
No,
Okay,
no.
thank you. Does that address your question?
sort of, what did my husband say with regards to the objection? Because I didn't really exactly hear what he
My
said.
comment was, once you allow that footprint to that corner, there's nothing preventing it in the future going 30 feet in the air right there.
Well, they would have to come, they would have to come back
Yeah.
here because
Yeah.
that once again would be an increase.
30 feet
Okay,
wouldn't be
so-
allowed in this zone. I believe it's 25 around everywhere in town.
Look out my window right into it.
But again, we're not discussing hypotheticals,
Right,
you know?
understood. Completely understand that. That's,
No,
I
we're
just wanted
not
to know what was in front of
discussing
you.
hypotheticals.
Agreed.
Okay,
We agree. I just,
but this
I-
isn't,
Hold on, let me let,
sorry. Yes, ma'am.
okay. I just wanted to know because I didn't know what was being done with the property. I know they said something was brought in to you, but we didn't get to see what the proposal was. That's why I was asking
Yeah,
what the
we haven't
plan
fi-
was.
We haven't filed that yet.
Oh,
Dave, our
right.
builder, is there, and he's going to be filing that building permit request in December.
Okay, so the only other comment I have was, which is why I asked about the height, is more because like when my husband and I did our house, we took the house down and we rebuilt it. And originally we were going to build on top of what was previously there. And they said, add this, they took it down. Your concrete walls that originally was your foundation would never have supported another level on top of it. So I don't know if you're aware of that or not for yours, and yours was built roughly around the same time ours used to be. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason why
Yeah.
I'm asking about the building on top of, because
Yeah,
it would be horrible to do all that work and then, you know.
Thank you for that. We're old enough, we're going to keep it as a ranch.
Okay.
One floor living.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are there any other people on the meeting, the digital meeting that would like to ask questions? If you do, I think there's a mechanism to raise your hand and Mike can call on them
or just unmute yourself.
or send them. Should probably be safe. We guarantee this to the corner. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. This man, just. All right. Okay, so no one else in the audience is, you have been heard, sir. I'm sorry you got upset that, I don't want to talk about the future. I don't know what the board will go. I'm going to ask the board for a motion and we'll see what they vote for. The big thing is staying away from the water is the biggest thing. Eric, I'm going to put this one in your trusty hands for a motion one way or the other.
All right, I'll do a motion to approve. So I move that we approve the request for a special permit, 73 Crockett Road, the application by Kathy Kessel and John Dennis for a special permit pursuant to section 300-3.3, seeking relief from the setback requirements to add an expansion of the existing footprint of the home, an area by 18 by 8 feet as shown on the plan submitted to the board.
Okay, can I get a second?
I second.
Okay, we'll take a vote of the board.
No,
Oh.
it's these four.
Oh, sorry, yes, that's right. So
Oh,
you,
no. He can vote on
this is a new meet, this is a
This
new,
is a
this is a
new-
new
Oh,
item.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, no.
I second.
You seconded?
He really got.
Bob Butler, aye.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Eric Russell, aye.
Michael Gill, aye.
Okay, all right, so that takes care of that one. Now we go back to the one that was tabled.
I didn't understand that. Was it approved? I didn't hear it.
Yes, it
Oh,
was
good.
approved.
Great, thank you.
So going back to the original one, we were
Original one as modified.
as
Yeah.
modified by the applicant reduced it to
50%.
50%,
Yeah.
which falls within our current bylaws of this town.
Yes.
Okay,
So the application that came in last time was for permission to use the accessory dwelling unit as it currently exists right now, which had been allowed by special permit, subject to certain restrictions under our old bylaw. The current bylaw caps the floor area on the accessory dwelling unit that this board can allow at no more than 50% of the gross floor area of the principal dwelling. So the dwelling, what was the size of that? And now we're adding
Yeah.
a little bit onto it, but
a little teeny bit.
What,
Yeah.
by 18?
so 100 something square feet.
Yeah.
It may be on.
So the principal dwelling with that corner is 2,130 square feet, 2,130 square feet.
But so the ADU can be no more than 50% of that. This board doesn't have the authority to allow it to be any larger than that. Yeah, 1,065 feet. And it's currently 13.
1316, and the
So-
plan that I have submitted shows part of the unit being partitioned off to reduce it to a size of 1,053 square feet. So I'm
Which
sorry about
meets-
the quality of the plan there. That's all we had that from the existing owners. This was done in 1993. So that's the existing plan, and if you go to the next slide, number 11, it'll show you the area, yeah, with the red is what we would partition off. That would not be rented space, it would be saved as storage or miscellaneous space for the owners, but it would not be used, it would not be rented.
Okay,
I'll make the caveat with that how that is dealt with is gonna have to be between Ms. Kessel and the building
building
commissioner.
inspector.
Yeah.
Because I'm unsure if this, as she's provided it, is acceptable pursuant to the state law. But I don't think,
Building code, right, defines what
Right.
part of this, what you consider the livable square footage.
Yeah, and that's John's job anyway.
so that, yeah, that's, so I would defer that to the, I mean, that's fine that, seems Kathy's amenable to whatever she needs to do to work it out, so that she's following the 50%, which is great. So I think this board, so if you're amenable to it, if you're in support of it, to vote to approve the 50% and then leave dealing with that excess to the building commissioner, as that's really his.
That's his job anyways, because his job to do the enforcement.
Put that as a condition.
The 50%, we could just do the motion as 50% of the,
That's it.
of that space there.
Yeah, and then you're just approving based on the primary. You're not necessarily approving whatever that setup ends up being.
Right. Because we never get involved into what the internal walls look like.
Because the accessory dwelling unit is contingent upon the primary. That's what makes.
It's 50% of the primary. And
So
that-
now that we have a comprehensive and detailed idea of what the square footage is for the primary, we can leave it to the building commissioner to figure out what that 50% is going to be pursuant to the.
And what it looks like
bonus.
is up to the owner. It has to be below that 50%. And that's the way I would want the motion.
Explain the 900 versus the 50%.
Our bylaw has two components to it. One is the 900, which is also the state, but ours gives an additional thing, which is the 50% of the primary residence.
Yeah, I would say it a little bit differently. State law prohibits the city, the town from regulating accessory dwelling units under a certain size. And that caps out at 900 square feet. Under that, there's very limited regulation that we're allowed to do. Above that, we can adopt something more lenient. We can adopt different restrictions on it. And the town has, and the town adopted a bylaw that acknowledges there's this category of accessory dwelling units we're not allowed to regulate. And then there's a category of accessory dwelling units larger than that, that are regulated by the town zoning bylaw, but those can't be any larger than 50% of the primary dwelling.
So, and one more question, does the bedroom at the garage level play into this at all?
No.
It's livable space.
No, it may be.
It could,
might,
up to the building inspector.
That's going to be up to the building commissioner to review.
Yeah.
When he issues the building permit,
Yeah.
to look at it and deem if that, what the area you're referring to, is that adding to the roughly 1,300 square feet that Kathy's presented here? That's for him to determine.
Because weirdly, she could say the kitchen and living room are upstairs and that bedroom is the only bedroom they get.
I guess my question is, calculated into this whole square footage thing that you're.
It could, yeah.
If it's going to be used by the renter, it does. If she's keeping it for storage for herself and keeping that whole bottom level for her storage and her belongings, then it wouldn't be. It depends on who's using it.
I just want to.
It depends both on who's using it and construction standards, because there are, certain things having to do with like height of ceilings and how rooms are built that will either make them part of the gross floor area of a building or excluded from it. And that's all under the state building code, and the building inspector analyzes all of that.
Yeah. There's ceiling height minimums and things like that.
Yeah.
And at the risk of making it more confusing, I just want to draw a finer.
That wouldn't stop you, Mike. Never stops you, Mike.
Back to the 900 square foot. If Kathy were to say, you know what, and she's written, this, what I'm showing here is my intent to provide 1,053 square feet, that gives me the 50% we're talking about. If she was like, you know what, forget about that even, I'm gonna redraw this so that number is exactly 900 square feet, she wouldn't have to be here.
At all.
It should be out of
At
our
all.
jurisdiction.
It'd be completely out of our jurisdiction, absolutely. So I'm going to, at this point, ask for a motion that goes by the 50% rule.
Now,
Do,
This one, I can't.
Correct, yeah.
before we do that, should we add a condition to be reviewed on a yearly basis to make sure it stays within compliance of the 50%? Because what's to say that after?
Our old rules had something, theoretically,
I think our old rules had a certification report.
and it was supposed to be yearly, and it was never, ever done in any building in the entire town,
That's not our problem.
ever.
Yeah.
I'm, the classic is, this is a rule that applies to everybody in town
Yeah,
currently.
Yeah.
And is it fair for us to put additional rules on any one property owner? If this rule applies to everybody, then it should be the same rule for everybody.
okay.
So here's the question, what precedence does it set as well? So your decision here.
Well, the precedent is we were following the guidelines that were written by the planning board
And town meeting.
and town meeting. So it had to have gone to a vote of town meeting. So the precedent was set at that town meeting.
So the precedence is if you follow this half the square footage of your main dwelling or the 900.
Yep.
Then you're allowed, wherever you're in town, you're allowed to build an accessory building. So build.
So
Well,
as
not-
of, so
the 50
as of, yeah, as of the passage of this state law related to accessory dwelling units, in any residential district in town, every homeowner is allowed to build an accessory dwelling unit of up to 900 square feet, or I forget there's a small, yeah, whichever's less. Yeah,
By right.
anyone can do that as of right, and they need no permission from us.
They would have to pull,
The state,
they'd have
yeah.
to pull building
Yeah.
permits and stuff. Basically, the town took away that power to regulate it.
Yeah.
It almost says like you could put mini houses everywhere.
No, the town
Yeah.
kept the ratio, just
Yeah.
moving along with it. It
Yeah.
said, why cap it out there?
Yeah.
The thinking was 50% because this is a town not full of, but there's a lot of very large homes.
Yeah.
3,000 square feet plus.
Yeah.
Those people, and they already don't want to limit themselves to 900 square feet.
Are you allowed to build multiple dwellings? 500?
With a special permit,
Yes.
I believe
So
it is.
This is a tricky thing, and actually when it goes back to the planning board for updating this bylaw, it's something they need to think about. The state has taken the position that yeah, you are entitled to that one protected use ADU. But there are situations in which you can get two, some by special permit, some if somebody has an already existing accessory dwelling unit now that does not meet the definition of a protected use accessory dwelling unit, they're still allowed to get a protected use accessory dwelling unit. So they can build a second one without even asking us. So there's some tricky situations here.
Situation, you just expanded more and put in 2 ADUs there.
You still have to go back for more permits, and it's not a guarantee. The thing about the first ADU is it's a guarantee. The second one is not. You've got to get permission.
It depends on the order. That's what I was.
That's
saying.
correct. He's
Yeah,
correct.
if somebody has one that
Right.
is pre-existing that doesn't meet the definition of the protected use one,
Right.
they're still entitled to the protected use one. They can force a second ADU.
Only if it doesn't conform?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
otherwise the first one, you might be able to call the protected use ADU and say they've got
Right.
what they were entitled to.
Yeah.
But the statute was not thoroughly thought through. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Apartment, you can just put up, it's almost like, I can put up some apartment buildings.
No.
It's not quite that bad, but it's.
The first one, I would say is, is I don't want to say it's a guaranteed, but it's by right for the first one. A second one has never come before this board. So I don't know how this board, and the board doesn't have to.
See, there's a piece of this that's kind of sad, right? I put this thing you guys can read. I'm sure those of you that are older probably know. If you look at residents on the street, there were several residents that fought hard to make this, to make this Peppercorn Hill happen. You guys will read the thing I submitted there.
Mhm.
I mean, they fought hard. These were guys on Crockett Road that did this. Went and found the money, right, for the town to go buy this thing. And it just seems like these new rules are kind of flying in the face of protecting land on the lake from turning it into rental units up and down the street, right? It just kind of flies in the face of it. Again, it's just a comment. It's just,
Well,
we're not honoring some of these elders, right? And some of these guys work in the town board.
the challenge is the town has just, the housing prices have just become so out of reach that the state basically, I don't want to say took away a lot of the power of the towns on their zoning on this, but really they absolutely did for the under the 900s.
Yeah.
100%, they took away those powers.
In a number of ways, the state's really limiting.
And
how
they,
towns can
at one
regulate
point,
housing, yeah.
there was even a threat to take away all the zoning rights, which I'd never believed, but they made that threat, which was pretty stunning. All right, guys.
I don't know if it is an apartment building. Is that?
The part of the challenge.
It's a long conversation.
Yeah, it's a long
It's-
conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this apple's not going to hold me for supper for long. It's getting smaller and smaller as we go longer.
So Bill, I'm never reluctant to ask some legal questions. You said all residential zones. Are Crockett Road and Lake Road in a
Every piece of,
residential zone?
yeah,
Even though it doesn't have residential in there?
Yeah.
yeah.
And in fact, Attorney General called this out in the approval of our ADU bylaw, essentially saying, I think there's only one district in town they don't consider residential.
Yeah.
What was that, general business?
That is-
Yeah.
It's the
Gotcha.
commercial, industrial, general business and UCBD.
Yeah,
Because single family homes are not allowable by right.
Okay, it's just, it's looking
Yeah.
at it, and so.
That down Main Street.
That's what I checked.
I think the definition of a residential district for this is a single family home allowed as of right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting and don't even get me going on the industrial stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, okay, part of my job is to move this forward. Okay, I'm gonna lean on you a second time. I want the motion from you. And then I'm gonna
Well,
go to you.
My one other question is,
You're not helping me.
because we have not done this before, and
Okay,
I think it would be interesting to know what everyone thinks about,
Yeah.
should special permits be tied to 50%, which is a moving target, or should it be tied to the square footage that we're approving that is, no more than 50% of the house
As it
the
is
square
right now.
foot as it's proposed?
if you want to do it,
So-
you do it either way you want. I'm
I-
completely fine.
If I could suggest, I think you have the ability to decide application by application how you want to handle
Yeah.
that. In this case, I would suggest that you do it pursuant to the application you just voted on to incorporate that.
Yeah, so no more than 1,065
Yeah,
square
Okay,
feet.
and that will be, that's limiting it.
she's provided the map here,
All right.
right? So you
Yeah.
can quote that number if you
What's that
want.
What's the explanation for going forward versus on the existing? What's the argument?
I mean,
Are we talking about the?
If she was able to wait 6 months or a year for the planning board to rectify the language, she would get like an extra 300 feet. Until they do rectify that, this is her safest option. Would you concur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you have him come back?
We don't want to have her come back.
She's not gonna have to come back,
Right. Hopefully.
hopefully.
Why don't you, he came up with, it was 1,065.
1,065.
So why don't you give that number?
Okay.
Is everyone okay with that? Her giving the,
They can't vote.
they can't vote, but you can vote.
All right.
I'm just always trying to include everybody. You know me, Bob. There we go.
All right, I move that we approve the application by Kathy Kessel and John Dennis requesting a special permit pursuant to section 300-7.6B2, seeking a special permit for use of an existing accessory apartment in excess of the 900 square feet permissible for protected use ADUs. I move that we approve that, subject to the limit that it be no more than 1,065 square feet.
I second that.
Okay, Michael Gleb. Sorry. Sorry. How do you vote?
Eric Russell, aye.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Bob Butler, right?
Okay, that's it. All right. So Kathy, gonna make sure at some point you need to communicate with Mike. There's a 20-day appeal period. And that's from when the clerk receives it, which would probably be next week sometime. Michael or Helena will be in contact with you.
we'll get moving on it. Next week's Thanksgiving.
Next week's Thanksgiving, so it may be a little bit delayed, but we'll get that in. It'd be sweet if it got it in beforehand, before Thanksgiving.
I'll try, but I'm also out this Friday, but
That's gonna hurt, yeah. I know, but the 20-day clock starts at when it gets signed and stamped in by the town clerk. Okay, the other thing is, I'd like to make a motion that we wish Helena a quote, rapid recovery. She threw out her back.
Yeah.
Can I get a second on that? All right.
Dave Young, aye.
What's the motion?
So wish Helena a rapid recovery. It's gonna be a joke. It's gonna show up in the meeting, but she'll know we cared. Bill Andrews, aye.
Eric Russell, aye.
There we go.
Oh, okay, sorry. Helen, right.
It's just, you know what? She's a hardworking, dedicated person
invaluable.
and very valuable and,
A stack of paperwork this big.
yeah, no.
Expecting that.
I know.
Yeah, it's kind of like our crutch has been taken away from us and what's happened.
Speaking of who, oh, that's it.
Okay, Michael, is there any other
Did minutes get forwarded out? I'm not sure if they did.
Or-
Yeah, starting a motion.
Although I wasn't here, so, I pointed out to Helena and she replied in the affirmative that every vote she recorded for the meeting, where there was only 4 of you, she recorded as 5-0. So consider that corrected to 4-0.
Okay, okay. You want to make the motion for the meetings, the minutes? Actually, you weren't there for it. Bob, you can make the
So
motion.
as an English, you should be probably.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes of
Yes.
October 19th.
15th.
15th, as amended,
15th.
as amended by changing the voting, getting the vote, proper number of votes. Can you second?
I'll second.
Michael Gill, aye.
Eric Russell, I.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Bob Butler, aye.
Okay, any other homework for us to do, sir?
No, that's it.
Okay. You get,
Motion to,
oh, we'll get a motion.
I second it.
Okay,
Gabe Young, aye.
Bob Butler.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Eric Russell, I.
There we
Thank
go,
you.
guys. Thank you, and thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Kathy.